Oh, that's awesome.
Beast mode.
I'm able to hunt a place just north of Palestine, and it's just loaded down with hogs. I hand corn it, and I check them trail cameras religiously. And I just got in my new PSE decree HD. I got that sucker tuned up. I actually took it turkey hunting with it. I just wasn't able to shoot nothing with it. So I came down. I was pretty upset. Chastity's done got the upper hand on me, major. Even though she did throw those in, real four. Let's just call that one dead too. Yeah. But I was able to slip down there in between range because I'm telling you, this country and this part of Texas is soaking wet to this day.
Oh yeah, ain't quit.
To this day. And so I was able to slip down there in between these ranges and slip in on these hogs, and let me tell you, there's a pile of them. Well, we're down here. We're going to try to shank us some swine. We've been baiting this spot for about 3 weeks now. The last 2 nights, the pigs have been in real early. It's about 7:15 now, so I got about 30-45 minutes before they start showing up, I hope. But I got a great setup. I did forget my safety harness, and I'm not getting in no stand without one. But I built me a brush blind. I got a lot of brush in behind me. Should be about a 22, 24-yard shot. It's just going to be a good hunt tonight. I feel like I got a little weather front still kind of off and on, but ain't gonna make them pigs no mind. Should be a real good hunt tonight. Shot. Well, it's 8 o'clock, about 8:10 to be exact. I just shot 2 of them. That first one I smoked. That second one I'm not sure, but I think I heard it crash up in there. I put that big old 1 3/4 Grim Reaper in its shoulders, so it should have got off in there, heard my arrow break. Well, I just went over there, got all my arrows gathered up. The first one, I replayed that footage, and I torched her. That second one, not so much. He actually turned and started and got real quartering to me as I shot, and I didn't see it. And I got a lot of penetration, but I don't like that angle, so I'm probably just gonna come find him tomorrow evening. Well, I found that sow I shot at about 8 o'clock. That Grim Reaper Hades tore up. I don't know how she went all the 80 yards that she did, but she went through some stuff you couldn't push a rabbit through to get away, but got her found. I went back in looking for that second pig, and I didn't see no blood where that arrow got kicked out of him, but I had over half that arrow in him, you know, and there's blood on the tip of where it broke. So I'm sure he's dead. I just don't want to really beat the brush too much tonight to find him. I know there's a lot of big hogs in here, and I just don't want to be run up a tree by one. You do have to respect these animals. But it was just an exciting hunt. Sitting there on the ground with them, just made that blind, and you know, it just worked out perfect. When you got the wind in your favor, and you know, you make minimal movements, they're not going to see you. And you know, it just worked perfect today. But anyway, stay tuned for part 2 tomorrow. I'm going to try to do recovery on that pig, and until we talk next time, God bless. Infected Outdoors is brought to you by PSE Archery, Experience Performance, Vapor Trail, Quit Your Crying. I shot that second one right over here, and looking at the footage, he made a beeline to the property line. So I'm going to just go ease on down there, see if he did make it across the fence. I don't think he's going to make it real far with that big of a broadhead in him like that. But anyway, I'm going to go down here, beat some brush around, and see if we can't find him. Well, I stumbled across him on this creek. He ran probably 120 yards or so before he died. You know, he died that night. I put a real good shot on him. He just, finding these pigs like this in the dark by yourself it can be tough. And you know, I just elected to back out while I come up here, and he's been dead for, I guess, 2 days now. And just been roofing a house and for my grandma, and you know, the weather hasn't let me come back out here and find him, but he's dead. He's right here. I'm gonna show the camera. It's pretty gross, so I'm just gonna show you that I'm not pulling y'all's leg, that I actually did shoot and kill this pig. But anyway, that's gonna wrap up this hunt. You know, it turned out to be a real good evening. Two dead pigs is better than none, and I promise you they got that bait spot tore up, and I'm about to rebait it and see what we got going on later this week. Y'all stay tuned. This is gonna be a real fun summer.
Sometimes it's pretty difficult to find them out there in the dark, you know, late like that.
It is, and the thing is, you know, you got a dark colored animal.
Yeah.
Most of the time they're gonna lay down in some thick cover. You're gonna walk over them.
Yep.
They don't bleed a lot.
No.
A pig does not bleed a lot most of the time, and it was a decent shot. You know, it was double lung. The pig was done within 70, 80 yards of where I shot him.
Yeah.
Didn't go very far. But the biggest issue that a lot of people overlook a lot of times is the attitude of one of these jokers.
Yeah.
And if you walk up on one and it's injured, it's hurt, it's going to feel that it's in a corner, and they only have one way out, and that's straight over you. They don't care how big you are or how big they are.
That's right.
They got a bad attitude. And about the only thing I know to adjust one is a PSE bow.
Yeah,
and it does a pretty good job of it.
Yes, it does.
But anyway, it was a good hunt, good time. Shot a double. Don't do it very often, but
every now and then, if the bow's so quiet now that they don't even know what happens.
They come right back. And what's cool about it is that, again, they don't know what happened, and they're still hitting this bait site. And I called Philip.
Yeah. Colton called me up. He asked me if I wanted a piece of this action. He said the hog's still hitting right at dark. So got in my truck, brand new bow. I just had it for a week. We headed to Palestine.
It's May 24th, 7:45. Back at the same spot Colton killed 2 sows the other day. See if we can sling an arrow. Just smoked one. Oh man. Hey, get another bullet because they might come back. Alright guys, well about 30 minutes ago is where my pig was sitting when I shot her. She busted off in that way. We gave her some time. See if we can go pick up the Latrell. Well guys, started tracking my pig and we jumped her, so we decided to go ahead and best thing get out of there. Got out of there and we came back today. We started doing a grid search. Rain already washed all the blood away, as you can tell. Did our best we could and couldn't find her, so hopefully the next couple of days the sun will come out and we'll be able to get our hands on her.
Infected Outdoors is brought to you by Grim Reaper Broadheads. Watch them drop. Gold tip. Damn straight.
Man, what happened?
I don't know how to run a camera. That's one of the things.
Yeah.
You know, it was one of them classic cameraman hunter mix-ups.
Yeah.
You know, Phil was like, you know, I'm gonna shoot the big hog, and I thought it was up front. There was actually
Yeah.
a bigger hog in the back.
He didn't see it. I could see it perfectly where I was at, and when I shot, he thought it was the one closer, and I actually shot the one in the back, but I still made a good shot on her. But
Man, it just happened, man. You know, with a group of hogs coming in like that, there's, I mean, what is there, 20 of them in front of you?
At least.
Oh yeah.
At
You
least.
know, it's
minimum.
going to happen. You got to, man, you got to both be on the same, and it's hard to do when you're trying to be quiet
Oh,
on
yeah.
opposite sides of a tree.
10, 15 yards away from them.
Oh,
Yeah, the pigs were close. It's tough. And what the worst part is that we weren't able to find that hog that night or
Yeah.
even the next day.
Yeah, well, I mean, the rain kind of got y'all the next
Bad.
day.
It was
Yeah.
bad the next day.
You can't find a blood trail in the rain.
Oh, no.
All that stuff washed away. And like we were saying earlier, you know, hogs don't bleed that much to start with.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
And we just marked last blood that night. Went back out there the next day, and you know, I know we walked by her 3 to 5 times that next day.
Yep.
Because it wasn't 2 to 3 days later I actually found her in a big Yopon lot. And it was a big hog too. She was every bit of 175, 200 pounds. I mean, she was a good one. And she was laid up in there, you know, just dead. And from the last point of blood to where I found her wasn't 40 yards. I mean, it's just one of them things, you know, we jumped her. We knew it, so we just marked last blood and got out.
Yep.
that's
And,
the right thing to do.
And you know what else? I mean, what else can you do? And then you get rained out the next day.
Yep.
And but you know it sucks. You know I don't like it. I know Philip doesn't like it. It tore him up for a couple days. Throw some corn out for the piggies. All right, keep it going. A little more. You gonna call the piggies? Call them. Hey. Call them.
day. Him and Philip been wearing these hogs out over here in Palestine, so he invited us out here. We decided we'd come on and get a little piece of that action, so we went to his house earlier today, finally got our new PSEs dialed in. We're going to sit here and see what happens this evening. The trail camera says hog's been hitting it anywhere from 8 o'clock to dark, so looks promising. Just smoked. That was intense. Pretty nice little boar hog. That was pretty sweet. We had to wait a little later than what we thought we were going to. They come in here after dark. But man, we stuck it out. We knew they were coming. We just didn't know what time they were going to be here.
Infected Outdoors is brought to you by Bee Stinger, Bee Steady, Montana Black Gold, built by bow hunters for bow hunters.
Nocturnal body knock on my arrow, so it's easy to find. And it is covered. Just covered in blood. There's nothing like bloody arrows and deployed Grim Reaper broadheads. Just a deadly combination. So, we're going to follow this blood and see if we can't track this thing down. We heard him fall, and I'm pretty sure he expired just right there in the woods. So, we'll ease in here, follow this blood trail, and see if we can't find a little prize at the end of it. Put a shot I'm really proud of on him, man. He couldn't have poked him anywhere better, and he couldn't handle it. I mean, he probably only went 30 yards, if that. I mean, I can literally still see my knot from where I found my arrow, and just all in all a great evening. Took a little longer than we expected, but we set them out. We knew they were coming. We had them patterned really good. Colton's been checking his cameras religiously, so we knew they were coming. It was just a matter of time. So I want to say thank you to him for inviting us out here tonight. Me and Brittany had a good time sitting with him and putting a little bit of pork chops in the freezer.
Will, hunting is not perfect, but that shot was perfect. I mean, that pig, what, 5-6 steps and it was down?
Yeah, man, whenever we got in the woods and we turned around and where I shot the hog, the arrow blew right through it and stuck the arrow right there. By the time we found him, and he kind of did a little loop, but you turn around and look, and man, he was right there.
Oh,
he's just inside the woods, you you always want to break out that new bow, and man, we just sighted it in, and it was great, man.
Oh,
It did everything it was supposed to do, and I was fortunate enough to do everything I was supposed to do.
Yeah,
So.
and it's just so much fun busting out them bows, like you said.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because thankfully, I live in Texas. We live in Texas, and we can hunt turkeys in the spring.
Yeah.
And we can shoot all the pigs we need to and want to in the summertime.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, they're
everybody will
abundance.
give you permission. They're a nuisance.
They're
Oh, yeah.
a huge nuisance. They tear up more stuff than they do anything. And it's so fun to be able to do that, and to be able to do it with friends that's the best thing
Oh,
to do.
yeah.
And but anyway, hope everybody's enjoyed it. We do need you to go and like and share our Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and until we talk next time, God bless.
God bless.